Wah, kecing.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
Wah, kayak Power Ranger ya, digabungin gitu senjatanya. Wih, kalah gak nih?
It's working. We just need to keep this up.
Wah, ini kasus nih. Musuhnya kayak ngeluarin ultimate-nya dia ya. Hey, what's going on guys? Gnosis here. Video kali ini kita lanjutin lagi Genshin Impact. Di part sebelumnya kita udah ngalahin si Childe yang ternyata emang dia punya niat buruk untuk ngambil Gnosisnya si Geo Archon. Tapi karena nggak dapet, jadi dia ngebangkitin dewa dari masa lalu gitu, pakai sigil of permission yang dia duplikat untuk mancing Geo Archon keluar. Di part kali ini kita bakal ngelawan dewa air itu bareng sama petinggi-petinggi Liyue dan dewa-dewanya. Oke, langsung aja kita lihat kelanjutannya. Let's go. Sinematik dong. Kita nonton dulu guys. Wah, mantu sini gua. Wah, gila sini gua ini. Ini balista ya? Wih, dikendalin sama 3 adeptai guys. Mantap. Wah. Oke, kita harus lindungin. Kayaknya sama si kecing. Wah, banyak banget Fatui. Let's go. Nggak dapet itu dong. Terlalu kecing. Let's go. Kok tipis banget ya? Biasanya nggak setipis ini.
Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? What wishes to witness? Swift and merciful.
Oke. Hancur satu. Itu masih ada lagi. Macam-macam lau. Sini. Oke, itu ada gak ya? Lanjut, tembak lagi guys. Wah, seru banget guys ini. Archon quest-nya the best. Santai. Miss dong. Aduh. Untungnya kita pakai si Chongyun ya. Jadi kan lagi hujan gini, kita mukul pakai esnya langsung beku. Nggak usah pakai elemen air lagi. Oke, sekarang di mana lagi? Wah. Apaan tuh? Dia nembak kayak ke atas gitu. Woi. Aduh. Kena dong. Tapi untungnya kita ada Barbara, bisa heal. Oke, let's go lagi. Beku semua lu. Beku. Ini kayaknya gue harus bunuhin dulu ini deh, karena dia nge-heal setau gue, yang ke air. Wow, kasus. Wah, kita tambah kuat. Dikasih kekuatan sama si Madam Pink ya. Go.
This green is really strong.
Wah, semakin kuat guys damage kita. Yang gue bingung kenapa si si Fatui bisa teleport ke sini ya? Oh, tapi emang dia bisa teleport ya. Kayak yang waktu dia nyuri Holy Layer juga dia teleport tuh. Tuh, lanjut.
Oh, it's revealed.
Damage sakit banget.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil.
Boosted your survival
Fear
abilities. Nice.
by the wayside and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War.
Harus pakai air nih. Agak tebel juga guys yang ini ya.
My name
Oh, hilang.
is Swiftness. Take my
Movement
power
speed is
and
greatly
run as
increased.
I do.
Wah, mantap. Staminanya nggak ngurang dong hari gini. Terus apa-apain nih? Let's heal dulu. Agar lagi. Wih.
You are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps
You
you,
will
can withstand
all
three
three
forms
powers
of
at once.
adaptive energy at once.
Ini lebih kuat nih sekarang.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them.
Sakit banget, langsung mati semua. Sini.
No rest for
Kita ulti Changling.
from whence you came.
Oh, sakit banget dong. Langsung mati.
My royal
Oke. Tengah lagi. Ulti lagi. Ulti lagi. Oke, mantap banget guys. Ini emang si Genshin ini walaupun dia game free to play RPG tapi emang ceritanya diperhatiin banget guys. Gue sejujurnya emang main ini tuh tujuannya untuk ceritanya sih guys. Gue tertarik banget sama ceritanya.
From whence you came.
Wah, beku dong. Boleh juga mereka. Oke. Balik tengah lagi. Gak bisa habis dong satunya.
My blade. Submit for judgment.
Waduh, kena dong. Waduh, hampir kena lagi.
Wings of darkness. Come, sever.
Submit for judgment.
Mampus.
No rest for the wicked.
But the Chile's numbers are thinning.
Fight on, comrade.
Wits.
Once we finish this
Oke.
the Adepti will be able to deal with
Oke, darah balisnya aman. Ada lagi gak? 17 detik guys, tembakin lagi. Oke, kayaknya kita berhasil guys. Berhasil. Wah, kecing.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
Wah, kayak Power Ranger ya, digabungin gitu senjatanya. Wih, kalah gak nih?
It's working. We just need to keep this up.
Wah, ini kasus nih. Musuhnya kayak ngeluarin ultimate-nya dia ya. Hujan meteor air guys. Dibanjirin, dimandiin. Oh, rusak dong di balistanya ya. Rantai yang dibuat sama si Ningguang juga rusak. Oh. Wah, Xiao nih keren banget nih. Emang dia tuh signature-nya tuh dia ciri khasnya emang dia cepet. Karena dia elemennya angin, guys.
The Guizhong ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
Apa nih?
What
Ada
do you
ide
mean,
lagi.
Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
Hah? Dia
What is the
bakal
meaning of this?
ngorbanin Jade Chamber-nya dong?
I understand.
Hey,
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
wah. Wah, sayang banget, guys. Diruntuhin kayaknya untuk ngancurin si monster-monsternya ya. Gila. Mantep. Ini udah kayak nonton anime aja, guys. Ya, Jade Chamber-nya dihancurin dong. Ah, kasus.
Is it finally over?
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the sigil of
Aura
permission
monsternya udah mulai
lasted
hilang
a
katanya.
short time. It will be some time before the overlord of the vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted
Oh,
to
tapi dia
you
nggak
for
mati
your
katanya.
assistance.
Dia
If the
melemah doang,
Adepti
guys.
hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy.
Terus si Ningguang tinggal di mana sekarang?
We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman
Iya,
and
gimana
as the
dong dia sekarang?
backbone of the
Sayang banget ya
legacy
dihancurin
the
ya.
Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation
Tapi
and
bener-bener jadi si
sacrifice
Ningguang ini
deserves
nggak
at
cuma
least
businesswoman,
some
guys. Dia mikirin
recognition,
juga masa
don't you
depannya si
agree?
Liyue. Dia mau ngorbanin
I
salah
was
satu
really
barang yang
hoping
dia
you
punya
would
yang
say
berharga
that
banget
such
katanya.
sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before.
Jadi si Adepti ini katanya tanda tangan
But that
kontrak.
does not mean
Nggak tahu tanda tangan
that
atau enggak ya,
Liyue
pokoknya
of today
dia ada
is the
kontrak
same
sama Rex
city
Lapis
as it
untuk
was
ngelindungin
all those
Liyue
years
selama
ago.
3.700 tahun.
Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream,
Wah, dia katanya mimpi
I
terus
yearn
Rex
to tell
Lapis
him
datang
that
ke
we
dia ya.
Chising,
Si Geo Archon
though
ini ya.
mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Chising leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Chising had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world.
Orang-orang percaya sih dia ngomong
Establishing
ini
a
ya.
network of
Tapi tadi bohong kan?
contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Tapi si Rex Lapis nih kayak masih hidup guys, karena tadi
What are you
mayatnya
trying
itu
to
cuma
say,
tipuan.
Right. That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a
Karena si
story
Gnosisnya
about
nggak ada.
the four
Kalau si
winds
Fendi
and
kan
the
dicuri,
people of the
Gnosisnya
Animal
ada.
Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
Kenapa
I
nih?
am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith.
Dia
I have come
pemimpin
to
Melalith
extend
ya,
my thanks to the
prajuritnya
Adepti.
di Liyue.
I thought this battle would
Dia
perhaps
mau bilang terima
be
kasih
my
untuk
last.
Adepti udah ngelindungin Liyue.
But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a
Orang-orangnya jadi
mere
aman katanya guys,
mortal
si
soldier.
bawahan dia, prajurit-prajurit dia jadi aman karena ada Adepti yang tadi bantuin untuk berperang guys. Kalau nggak ada mereka mungkin udah banyak yang mati.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid.
Ini mah damping ini paling baik
All
guys,
those strong
Adepti paling baik ya.
bards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so
Anak kecil nih si
pretty.
Cang-Cang ini.
Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please
Terima
come
kasih
visit
udah
us for the next
melindungi Liyue
land
Harbor
run.
katanya.
Unfortunately,
Jangan lupa datang
we wouldn't
ke
be able to participate
Huh?
Lantern Ride ya.
because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus. Aww.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call
Mantap.
mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Jadi sekarang udah nggak ada kontrak antara dewa dan manusia ya. Sekarang manusia antar manusia katanya guys. Karena waktunya dari si Adepti, dewa itu sekarang udah lewat.
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, conqueror of demons.
Yes, one understands what the conqueror of demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation.
Dulu nih kayaknya si Adepti ini tinggalnya bener-bener di Liyue-nya, tapi
the new contracts of Liyue.
pada pindah karena emang waktunya udah berubah guys dari dewa ke manusia.
Fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence
Oke,
we came.
mereka balik ke tempatnya masing-masing kayaknya. Ada yang ke Join Cars,
Since we
ada yang
Adepti
di
have
ini ya,
consensus,
ada yang di
then one
Wangshuin
shall
juga si
persist
Xiao.
no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue
Ada yang di Mount
chieftain
Aozang,
won't
setahu gue ya.
simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't
Tinggal
worry.
si Madam Ping nih.
It
Madam Ping
seems to
tinggalnya
me
masih
that
di
this
Liyue.
right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti
Oke,
was avoided.
konfliknya
All
terselesaikan dengan
fine,
baik.
huh? Oh, right. It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Childe wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out.
Iya, si Childe mana ya? Zhongli juga kemana loh?
But we were able able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. So Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death too?
Zhongli sih feeling gua.
Paimon doesn't get it.
Nah,
But isn't the
look for
strongest
Zhongli.
way we have the Adeptiless right of parting that we're...
Kita teleport biar cepat ke atas. Atau bawah aja ya.
Ask for him at Wangshan Funeral Parlor.
Oke, kita udah sampai di
Is there anything I can do for you?
Wangshan Funeral Parlor.
I'm afraid that Wangshan Funeral Parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at
Zhongli-nya
the
nggak ada.
moment. It seems he
Dia
went
ke
to Northland Bank.
Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank
Punyanya
belong to the
Fatui.
Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more trouble. We had better go and make sure that everything
Oke,
is okay.
kita sekarang harus ke si Zhongli di Northland Bank ya. Let's go. Oke, kita udah sampai di Northland Bank.
Cooperation between harbingers. Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Ada si Signora.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Childe. And you! You're also one of the Harbingers?
Balikin punyanya si
It's you
Fenty,
too.
Gila lu.
I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
Bantai, langsung batai.
Don't let her get to you.
Aduh.
You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements. And our last battle at the Golden House was almost more than you could handle.
Oh iya, kita kecapean ternyata katanya guys. Kita habis lawan si Childe, habis lawan tadi yang Fatui baik banget. Jangan lawan sekarang. Kalau lawan sekarang katanya kita kalah.
If it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I
Zhongli
may have
kenapa diem terus?
misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child.
Hah,
There'll
Zhongli
be
ini katanya
plenty
jahat.
of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax?
Ah, bener kan?
If you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you
Bener
talking
dia.
about?
Dia sih. Ah, bener nih.
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as stone.
Zhongli ini ternyata Morax atau si Rex Lapis.
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Geo? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Katanya ada perjanjian antara dia sama Saritsa ya. Jadi si Saritsa ini kalau kalian nggak inget dia dewa es. Dewanya si Fatui.
was preparing the ceremony for you and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky and all of Liyue goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Gathering all the forces that
Oh, ya,
had
apaan tuh
been
belakangnya?
bubbling
Muter-muter.
behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see. Am I right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years.
Dia udah tinggal di dunia ini selama lebih dari 6.000 tahun katanya.
Liyue, together with the Adepti 3,700 years ago.
3.700 tahun yang lalu dia udah bikin Liyue sama Adepti.
Whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come, until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Childe, the Adepti, and the Liyue Chising to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue.
Oh, itu semua direncanain?
Indeed I was. The Gnosis, which I had kept for so many years, suddenly seemed to have lost its meaning. That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course. And it would have been all too easy for him, too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when
jadi
faced
dia
with the death of its deity.
pengen tahu apakah si Liyue ini siap gak ngadapin tantangan-tantangan kayak tadi gitu. Ternyata nggak pakai bantuannya si Zhongli, kita udah bisa kalahin guys.
They hardly recognized the city, yet faced with such a crisis, they exerted the greatest amount
Jadi
of
mungkin
restraint.
tugasnya si Zhongli ini udah beres untuk membimbing si Liyue lebih mandiri guys.
They even tried to understand the heart of the people. And hats off to the emissary dispatched by the Geo Archon to fulfill our contract, Signora. She managed to keep everything she knew in strict confidence, far from the eavesdropping ears of her colleague Childe, just as I had requested. All the while, I carried on as Zhongli, and fulfilled the traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for walking.
Tapi yang gue gak ngerti masih kontraknya si Zhongli sama si Saritsa tuh apa ya? Sampai dia harus ngasihin si Gnosisnya. Soalnya kelihatannya si Saritsa ini atau si Waktu ini punya niat jahat guys.
I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue as divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me, and it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you.
Tapi yang gue bingung di masalah berikutnya ya, kalau misalnya ada monster lagi,
if you hadn't created
rumahnya si Ningguang itu udah hancur tuh. Nanti mau defense pakai apa ya?
The lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo Archon, Liyue, would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Be that as it may, you've come out of this as the hero of Liyue. I, on the other hand, will be forever prescribed as a disturber of the peace, no?
Si Childe nih kasihan juga, dia disuruh-suruh pada
Gnosis in my
dia
possession,
jahat
I
ya.
have no use for such idle chatter.
Tapi kayaknya si
You
Fatu
should
ini emang
return to
jahat dari awalnya
Zapoyani
guys.
Palace and
Kayak si
seek an
Signora.
audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come, child.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Oke.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Ya ini nih. What could possibly be worth a Gnosis? Nah, ini nih.
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a Gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Geo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Oh, dia nggak mau kasih tahu guys. Katanya ntar suruh cari tahu aja selama kita berpetualang ya di dunia ini. Sekarang kita keluar dari Northern Bank. Si Zhongli ini biarin aja.
Paimon can't absorb so much
Coba kita ngobrol lagi ya.
So Zhongli, what sort of contract did you sign with the Geo Archon?
Ya nanya lagi si Paimon. Dia kagak mau tahu.
One of the clauses of our contract was not to divulge any of its contents.
You're so petty.
Oke, kita keluar aja. Wah.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so
Iya.
much time trying
Kita rite of parting buat apa lagi orang?
It would be a real shame not to go there now.
Palsu kok itunya. Kematiannya. Let's go aja lah, kita ikutin. Siapa nih?
Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting,
Bigfoot
it means that those
Dajjal.
rumors hit the nail on the head.
So Rex Lapis is really... But they
Oh,
didn't
mereka
catch
masih
the
nggak tahu kan,
culprit, did
Rex
they?
Lapis masih hidup.
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think? I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth anything. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank.
Child masih dituduh.
I think they called him Child.
The Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious. Who knows what those greedy, crooked folks...
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect you this time.
Sekarang kita ngomong lagi ke orang lain, siapa namanya?
You know that god from the ocean
Uncle
couldn't
Gao.
have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that evil god might have been one and the same?
Now that you mention it, that's very possible.
Child lagi.
Yeah, I mean, it
Yang
all
kena.
fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Oh, that wicked, black-hearted scoundrel. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess to be able to do such things? I have never heard of such a person in all my years.
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement. Let's hear what the Ministry of Civil Affairs has to say first.
Oke. The phone farewell. Listen to the Millilith announcement.
Hear ye all! The Chi sings
Pengumuman.
words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, let the truth be revealed. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not, and to let not their hearts be saddened. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors, or indulge in baseless speculation.
Oke.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Chising's announcement said.
Kayaknya they said that Rex Lapis died before a divine trial.
So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds like something they just made up on the spot. Could the Chising already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither they nor the Adepti knew anything. Did Zhongli tell them in secret?
Wah, ini masih bingung ya, sebenarnya ceritanya masih abelit, guys.
Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been going on for a while now. Let's go have a look.
Yuk, langsung kita ke rite of parting-nya ya. Ada si Ganyu, ada si Kecing, sama ada si Ningguang.
Are there speeches over?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending
Nah, ini kan yang bikin parfum ya. Si Nger ini.
Now that we
Oh,
have
ada Madam
awoken
Pink
from
juga.
our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Wah, kok ke kita?
Yikes! She really is looking our way.
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young.
The Liyue Chising always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
Wah.
Whoa.
Kita mau dikasih hadiah katanya, guys. Mau minta apa ya? Minta dapat karakter Dialog boleh gak sih?
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Dialog ya posternya.
And to think I'd put my best perfume on before coming here, thinking you'd like it. But it seems as if those perfumes really were meant to be offered to Rex Lapis. Well, that's fine. Suffer
Dia
no
mau pasang
rivals in
ini kayaknya mau
love,
minta
they say.
pasang poster orang hilang untuk saudaranya yang cewek yang kita lagi cari, guys. Oke, talk to the people taking part in the ride. Siapa lagi nih? Ini kali ya.
Rex Lapis. Rex Lapis. Now that I think about it, if everyone's of the same mind as me, perhaps mementos for Rex Lapis might be the best short-term business opportunity.
Oke, terakhir ke Madam Pink gitu.
As for the mortals and Adepti of Liyue, what shape shall our relationship take from now on?
Zhongli, ada Zhongli katanya. Wih, ini Rex Lapis yang sebenarnya.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,007? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Xinyu kiosk.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Xinyu kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
You're right.
Oh, dia nggak punya duit dong. Dewa nggak punya duit gimana sih?
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used
Oh, jadi dia emang gak pernah mikirin Mora karena dia bisa bikin guys selama dulu dia jadi Archon dengan mudah.
parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the city of commerce, we do not merely
Sekarang dia udah pensiun jadi Archon katanya guys.
We also exchange knowledge.
Setelah 3.700 tahun dia jagain Liyue.
As well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with you. That is true.
It was a fine journey.
But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the seven.
Oke, kayaknya quest di
I fear that
Liyue itu
continuing
beres
your
ya.
journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea.
Next ke Inazuma katanya guys.
Is presently closed.
Sekarang lagi ditutup.
Yes, the nation has been closed by order of its deity, the Electro Archon Ball.
Electro
And just
Archon
as
namanya
the people
Bal.
of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
Raiden.
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the shogun of the Inazuma Bakufu, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
Inazuma Bakufu, apaan tuh?
People at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense.
Oh, sekarang di Inazumi sekarang situasinya lagi nggak baik ya.
It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Karena visions katanya guys. Kenapa visionsnya?
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of a statue of the 1,000-armed, 100-eyed god.
They want to seize visions. But why?
Seize visions.
Are visions
Apa ya?
blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Yang mau diambilin gitu kayaknya guys si visionsnya ya.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now
Oh, si Zhongli paling tua katanya guys di antara semua 7 dewa ya.
resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto heaven. All
Heaven?
right then. Was
Oh,
there
berarti
anything
ada
else
ini.
you wish to know?
Ada surga katanya guys, heaven.
Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed
Oh, kita harus
nation.
cari jalan sendiri guys.
Have patience.
Penasaran ya?
I
Kita
suspect
ikutin aja ntar
that some
questnya ya.
serendipity must first come into play.
Oke, Archon Quest di Liyue beres guys. Oke guys, jadi kita udah tamatin Archon Quest di Liyue. Kita tadi udah kalahin dewa air yang dibangkitin sama si Childe, sampai-sampai si Ningguang harus ngorbanin Jade Chambernya ya. Terus ternyata Geo Archonnya tuh si Zhongli. Bener dugaan gua. Jadi si Zhongli ini emang ngerencanain semua kejadian di Archon Quest Liyue untuk nguji apakah si Liyue ini udah siap ditinggal atau belum. Si Zhongli ini udah jadi Archon untuk ribuan tahun ya. Jadi sekarang dia mau pensiun katanya. Terus si Childe juga memang disuruh sama si Zhongli untuk ngebangkitin dewa itu. Jadi kalau tadi sampai Liyue nggak bisa nahan dewa itu, si Zhongli bakal keluar dan dia bakal tetap jadi Archon guys. Tapi karena mereka berhasil ngalahin dewanya, jadi si Zhongli nggak keluar dan dia bisa pensiun. Yang masih gua nggak paham ada perjanjian apa si Zhongli sama si Saritsa sampai-sampai dia harus ngasihin Gnosisnya. Mungkin itu bakal diceritain di update-update Genshin Impact selanjutnya guys. Oke, sampai di sini dulu videonya. Thanks banget buat semuanya yang udah nonton dan support terus. Buat kalian yang suka jangan lupa like, share, dan subscribe ya. Hope you enjoy the gameplay and thank you very much for watching.